Hello everybody. Happy New Year. For anyone I haven't seen in person, Happy New Year, and I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. I just have a few important issues that I wanted to jump on here and just go over with everybody. Some of these issues are concerns across more than one of our locations, so this is the quickest way for me to get the message out there, and so that we can start right off, after everybody has seen this, setting some things in a better direction than we're experiencing right now. So I've got a little list here. I'm going to try to make it quick, but it doesn't take away from the fact that these are important issues. So first thing is just about coming to work, making sure that you come to work on time. You cannot come to work late. That's just not something that we can have in this industry, or probably any industry for that matter. You're expected to be to work 15 minutes before your shift so that you can be set up and ready for your client when they come to the salon and they're sitting in the waiting area or they're arriving at a desk. We need to be ready to take them in. That's the respectful thing to do, and that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on in the company, is being able to really look after the client and taking care of them and respecting their time. The next issue, just sort of along the same lines of showing up on time, but also showing up and being ready. We're having issues with some people showing up and they're not ready for work. So I don't know really what industry people are allowed to show up and then bring their clothes or bring their, hair straightener or whatever and get ready at work. That's not something that we allow. We expect you to come to work ready and ready to begin your shift on time. And another issue that we are also having, which is a bit of more of an uncomfortable conversation to have to bring up, but we're having issues in a more than one of the locations, unfortunately, where people are not coming to work. They're not really looking closely at the personal hygiene aspect of things. You're working with the public, so you're expected, for the sake of the public and for your coworkers, to make sure that you're coming to work showered, teeth are brushed, and that you're really deodorant, whatever you have to do in this industry. Again, beauty industry, we have to be mindful of our clients and their experience. That's how you retain clients. We have to be mindful of the people we work with. So to me, these are just basic things. These aren't things that, oh, well, I think I'll just decide that I don't care and I'm going to do it if I want to, and if I feel like showering, I will, and if I don't, well, that's my business. It isn't. Not when you're working with the public, not when you're working in one of our salons, and not when you're working closely with coworkers. So please make sure you're paying close attention to these things, and make sure that going forward that you come to work on time, you come to work showered, clean, teeth brushed, and dressed. And if these things are still occurring after this, we watch this video and understand how things need to be, then I will have a one-on-one conversation with anybody that is continuing to not respect these policies. So the next issue that we're having is that just the cleaning. This is something that comes up frequently. Everyone has a responsibility. It's a shared cleaning schedule. It should never fall on the same people. So please make sure that you're looking at your duty list each day and that you're doing your part. And if you're not on a break and you see somebody folding towels, help them. Don't walk by them. Stop and help them. The more that we all help each other out and do our share, the less work it is for everybody else. The other issue is we do have downtime with processing, or maybe we don't have a client. Again, keep yourself busy cleaning. There is always something to do in a salon. There's always a baseboard to wash. There's always glass to polish. One thing that you are not to do is you are not to sit in the client's pedicure chairs, the client's stylist chairs, or shampoo chairs. Certainly not on the floor during business hours. It is unprofessional and it is not something that we allow. So if you are doing it currently, please stop. Okay, the next issue is about phones on the floor. So we know that we use phones for social media. They're a wonderful tool. We encourage that. But if you've got your phone out and you don't have a client and you're just texting your friend on the floor, that is not a good look. That is not professional, and we wouldn't want you to do that. So please make sure that you're using your phones for social media to advance your clientele, to advance your marketing efforts and your social media efforts. That is what the phones are allowed to be used for on the floor. So please be mindful of that. The next thing is about conversations that are happening on the floor. Again, it's being brought to my attention, and I have also heard from a client recently about conversations on the floor being inappropriate. Again, I just need to make it so clear that I am really not the one that pays your paycheck. These clients sitting in your chairs pay your paycheck. I process it, I facilitate it, but I'm not the one paying it. They are. It is them that you have to make happy. It is them that you have to impress. It is them who you need to want to come back. Please watch what you're saying. Conversations about tips, conversations about being broke, financial hardships. These are not things that your clients want to hear about. They can hear about that on the news on the way home. They can be depressed about that just about anywhere. They come to our salons so that they can feel better, and they're spending their hard-earned money with us. So we're going to have those kinds of conversations and expect them to want to come back. That's not how it works. So please be mindful of your conversations with clients on the floor. Also, just to add to that, it to me goes without saying, absolutely no swearing on the floor. Unprofessional, inappropriate, clients don't want to hear it. Okay, so eating and drinking on the floor is something that's been brought up, and also at the desk at times. We are not to have food in the salon anywhere but a back room, staff room, whatever the case may be. Food is not to be found on desks, on stations, on shampoo, back bars, color bars, nowhere but in the back room. It is against the health department, for one thing, and also the cosmetology's rules, and 100% our rules. Running on time. Oh, just to back up for a second, I do also want to add that any of the back rooms that are being used to prepare clients' drinks, or we're washing, whether it's a dishwasher or washing by hand client dishes, we cannot do any hair care in there, even personal. So if it's the middle of the day and you want to go back there and comb your hair and put it up or take it down, you can't do it in the back room. Definitely a health code violation, and you'd have to do something like that in the bathroom. Running on time, that is another issue that has been brought to my attention. It's not something that we can continue with. You, as a stylist, especially, because it seems to be more on the stylists on the hair side, it's your responsibility to have the proper consultation with a client. And if you have an allotted time frame and you can't do it in that time frame, then you need to tell them what you are able to do, and that you would need to bring them back to do, further service, but you don't have the time, especially at the end of the day. If a service provider runs late at the end of the day, then the desk person has to stay later. So any portion of that service after the professional costs are taken away and the service provider's commission is taken away, the salon loses it because we've now had to pay desk staff longer. So that's not something that can continue for us. So just really watch. It's also disrespectful to clients when they think they're going in for an appointment time that they saw when they booked online, or they are aware is typically 2.5, 3 hours, and then they end up being there 4 hours. If it's a situation where it's earlier in the day and you have a client after this client, then they're waiting. And again, that is not respectful for the client or their time. We've always prided ourselves as a company as having salons that mostly run on time, and we would like to continue that. So please be mindful that you stay on time when you are doing services with clients. And again, we realize that sometimes something comes up and it's very unexpected, something didn't go the way it should, but these should be rare occurrences, not common. The next thing is desk staff. I did bring this up, probably I think it was just discussed in one particular salon, but I'm going to bring it up for all salons. Even though it may be something that's only happening in a couple, is how we treat the desk staff. The desk staff, they have their job to do. we have to treat them with respect. I shouldn't even have to ask this or make this request. The desk staff are to be treated kindly and with respect. If you have an issue with somebody, whether it's on the desk or anywhere, then you would bring it to a lead. You would request a meeting with me, but you're definitely not to be rude or disrespectful to anybody. It doesn't matter if they're on the desk or just anybody else in the salon. Kindness is what we expect, and we're just not going to tolerate being rude to anybody that works in our organization or clients or anybody. That's just not what we're going to do. So basically, there's not a long list here. That's pretty much the long and short of it. The leads are going to be really watching, because I'm getting frustrated with the fact that some of these issues, I've had to bring them up multiple times in the last year. Well, and beyond that, but even in the last year, it hasn't been that long ago that we've brought some of these issues up. So we're going to have to start getting into possibly doing write-ups. If these things aren't being respected and they're being disregarded after we've brought them forth here tonight and made them clear, then we will have to start looking into doing some write-ups, which none of us want that. I don't want to be put in a position where I have to do that. So let's just do what we're supposed to do. Let's just be professional, and everything will, it'll go so much better. Rules are put in place for a reason. They do help with client retention. We need clients more now than we ever have. We are in a definite economic downturn. So how we treat those clients makes the difference in our paycheck. It equally directly affects how we see the amount of money in our paychecks. Direct relation between how we treat that client, from how we greet them, from being on time with them, to giving them the attention they deserve while they're there, doing all the things, having communication with them, making them think when they leave, boy, I'd love to tell my friend about this service provider, and I'm definitely going to be back. That should be the same goal that we all have. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to thank you very much for taking the time to watch this. I appreciate it very much, and I look forward to seeing some positive changes. Have a good night.